Hello and welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. As always, we have a wonderful show lined up just for you. Do stay tuned.
When we litter or when we actually dump garbage or waste onto the beaches, they end up in the sea, and then it creates a negative effect for our ecosystem. Just find better ways to dispose of our waste. The beach or the public space should not be one of them.
Be mindful that your actions impact not just the environment, but the future generations. We have a slogan that I always see on commercials, "No dirty up Jamaica." And I strongly believe in that. We have to do our part to set the tone so that future generations will see that example and treat the environment with respect.
In this week's episode of Get the Facts, we revisit our discussion with Maxine Bagelo, Adoption Coordinator at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Mrs. Bagelo was honored this past Heroes Day for her long and faithful service working to dismantling the stigma around adoption and to help more children find their forever families. Let's listen in.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm Theodore Henry. In Jamaica, adoption serves as a tool in the social services system to improve the future chances of orphans, children in state care, and others in challenging circumstances. Adoption gives them an opportunity to be raised in a loving home environment. It also provides an avenue for people to become parents. Unfortunately, there is stigma associated with adoption, and this has only made the process more challenging. On that note, Maxine Bagelo, the Adoption Coordinator at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is here today to shed some light on the benefits of adopting and to help erase some of the stigmas associated with adoption. Lady Bagelo, how are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so let's jump right into getting the facts. What is adoption?
Adoption is a legal process where the child's biological parental rights have been transferred to the adopters.
What are some of those rights, would you say?
Well, they no longer have care or control. They can't make decisions any longer for that child because everything is now placed in the hands of their new parent.
Okay. So what are the factors in your experience that usually leads people to consider adoption?
I think one of the first things that persons normally think of is, or people believe that persons who can't have children. That is one. Persons who just want to provide a loving home for a child who is not that fortunate.
Yeah.
Persons who believe they want to just help a family, because in Jamaica we do a lot of family adoptions.
Okay.
So a child may have lost their parent due to violent situation or health reasons, so a family member will come in and chip in and want to have that child in their family.
Oh, so that's somebody they know already?
Right.
Okay.
Other family situations is that parents, birth parents, because of the circumstances that a child may have been conceived, and they looked in their self and see, well, they can't offer the child what the child really needs, that love, that care, the environment that will let that child nurture. So they decide to offer their child up for adoption.
Okay. So lead us through the process of adoption.
Okay, persons who are interested in adopting need to think about it carefully. They need to think about it. Is this something that I really want to go into?
Yeah.
Because this is a life decision. You're going to have this child. This is a child that you're going to be able to care for the rest of your life, just as if you had given birth. You have to love children.
Okay.
You have to know that you can afford to take care of a child. You have the environment, you have the family support, you have the financial support, and you are willing to offer yourself, because it's a very sensitive and touchy area.
Right.
Yeah, because persons may not even want to talk about it. That as I'm entering into this, I'll tell my neighbor, or even my friends to know.
Right.
Because adoption is a very stigmatized area. People don't readily discuss it. We need to move away from that. Because persons, once they are adopted, you find that it is even difficult to get those persons to talk to you about it again.
But to dial back to what you were saying initially, more than feelings, more than you wake up one morning and say, I feel I want a child,
No.
there's a lot of consideration that needs to be put into the process. So I've ticked that box. What next?
Okay, the information about the process is on our website,
Right.
www.cpfsa.gov.jm, and there you'll find the application form, the guidelines that take you through the entire process.
Right.
You'll also see a list of documents that you need to have. So when you have all of that, then you will submit it to us. We'll review it.
Virtually or physically?
No, you can submit it. No, we don't take virtual because a lot of the documents that you send to us have to go to the courts eventually. So they are official documents, so we need to ensure that we have your original birth certs, your marriage cert, but you are given back these at the end of the process, so you don't have to worry about it.
Got it.
Right? So after that is done, then we review the documents to see if everything is there. Police records are a requisite, so to ensure that you are in good standing in your society.
Yes.
References from persons who have known you well, which we also will check to find out if it's true. And to ensure that we are placing a child, or this child will be placed with is somebody worthy.
Right.
So all that is reviewed, and then you'll be given a letter at the end of our review process and tell you that you'll be assigned a case number and a caseworker who will make contact after.
So the CPFSA gathers this data, reviews it. Is there any one-to-one vetting of the individual himself by the CPFSA?
Sure. After all of that is done, the real work begins.
All right.
In that we'll have to meet these people face to face. So we'll have to meet the birth parents, we'll meet the child, we'll meet the person who is adopting. And all of that interaction is culminated into a case committee report, which is presented to the adoption board. Because the adoption board still have authority by law to give approvals to all adoptions that are done in Jamaica before they can go towards the court for conclusion.
So the CPFSA is facilitating.
Yeah, we are just the processing arm.
Right.
Right.
I understand. So tell me now, what are some of the prerequisites a person needs to tick to be eligible to adopt?
Okay, male, female, a couple, or you can do it singly.
Single people can adopt?
Yes, they can.
All right.
You must be over 25 years. If you are related to the child, however, you can be 18 years and older.
You serious?
Yes, you can.
All right, that's interesting. Anything else?
As I said, you need to love a child. You need to want to help a child. You need to want to be able to bond with a child, right? Because the attachment and the growth over time is very important, because that will determine the child, what the child will become.
Does the person need to, you mentioned certain things about like environment, finances. Does the person need to demonstrate these things to the CPFSA?
Because we will be visiting. We will visit your home to see what your home is like, how the child and you may share the space, the support at home, because we want to ensure that the child is in a comfortable environment and the persons in the home are also accepting of this child being placed with you or in the home.
Right, because you have homes where...
Homes already, yeah, you have other family members there.
I see. So, I've started the adoption process. Can I terminate it?
Well, yes, if you start the process, and for whatever reason, you may decide maybe this is not, after our visits and interaction, you realize that maybe this is not something that you're in for. Yes, you can. Soul searching, right. Yeah. And that's why I said before at the beginning, you need to ensure that it's something that you're really in the long haul for.
Yeah. How long would you say this process takes before the child is placed?
Before the child is placed? Well, children come to us from various avenues. First, there are family members who will come already with a child already attached to them.
Oh, okay.
So that process will take 3 to 6 months
Okay.
for conclusion in the court. For those who are awaiting children or ask the agency to identify a child for them, that will take a little longer. Because one of the things is that persons believe that all the children in our facilities are available for adoption, which is not so. Right? There are children there for care and protection. They have parents. So we have to ensure that we would have passed the hurdle whereby those children can't go back home. Their parents are not able to take them back before we are then able to free them for adoption.
Understand. We have to go to a break now, but just before I do, I want to ask you this one, and it's burning in my head. The child has been placed. Can I say, no, I don't bother want to do this?
Yes, as long as it's not yet concluded in court, we can have that discussion.
But once the court concludes,
But once the court concludes, it's your child.
Understood. All right, we are going to go to a break now, but the discussion continues on the other side. So please stay with us.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We are aware that there are numerous stigmas surrounding adoption, such as the idea that a person must be infertile in order to adopt, even though many people adopt in order to expand their family. People who have children adopt. Our guest, Maxine Bagelo, the CPFSA's adoption coordinator, is here to assist in dispelling some of these stigmas that we associate with adoption. Lady Bagelo, you mentioned it in the first half. Let's drill into it now. What are some of the deep and serious stigmas surrounding adoption?
All right. In Jamaica, we have 3 groups that form the adoption family, basically. So you have the birth parents who offer their child.
Okay.
So society look down on these set of people to say, why are you offering your child for adoption? Because not even puss nor dog don't give it away anymore.
Mercy.
Right? So they are looked upon as if they are doing the worst thing possible and not seeing the flip side, that these are persons who have identified their weaknesses and want to give their child a better life. Right? Then you have the child who is chastised at school once it is discovered that they are adopted, because they can't understand the love and understanding that is put into when a person really want to adopt a child or have adopted a child, and that child is so special in a family.
Hey, that's a potent point right there. Children happen to so many of us. Adoption is a choice.
It's a choice, right? So making that choice is so important. And providing a forever family to this child is all that a child, most children yearn for, that forever family.
So this child now, maybe by their peers, is seen as like a second
class, right, which is unfortunate. And still, we also want to change the stigma on the birth cert that these children receive at the end of the process. It has the adoption on it, and we really need to change that. We are working with RGD and the lawyers to see how best that can be done in short order.
Sorry, if I can ask, when you say it has the adoption on it,
it is written at the top, Adoption Children Register.
Oh, so I'm different.
So you're different. So once you take up that, everybody knows so you're different. Although it may look in paper just like yours or mine, but it has that heading on the top of it, and we want that to be removed.
Understand.
Now, the third set of persons are the adopters. Now, in Jamaica, again, we have this thing about persons not being able to have children. So you find that persons who adopt hide it as much as possible.
Yes.
Because they don't really want persons to readily know that they are not the biological parent. So we want to remove all of that feelings that persons have to understand that this is how we are, and all three groups are very important in the process.
Yes.
Right? Don't blame or put down any group.
Yeah.
So because some of the adopters are fearful, they don't tell the children from an early age. And you find that children may find out at a later stage in life, and it also damages the relationship and the trust that they have in their adoptive parents when they do find out.
So you recommend?
So I recommend that a child who is adopted is told from an early stage. We encourage that you start with bedtime stories. There are a lot of books that we refer our adopters to, that they can start with telling the children from a young age that, about adoption. So adoption is not a tabooed word, so they become familiar with it and not afraid of it. Because in the adoption process, I think why persons may not be willing to talk or even want to do adoption is because they fear. The fear of maybe the child not liking you over the birth parents, or not bonding with you over their birth parents. The fear that you may want to go back to your birth parents. But all of this can be changed if we communicate, if we get ourselves educated on the subject, and all of that.
Right. So people outside the unit treat it as taboo, but also I find that people inside the unit treat it as taboo too. You know, you're not communicating with the child, you're not helping them to understand what they're going to go through. So it's two angles we have to deal with stigma from.
We prepare our children before they're placed. And as I said, in Jamaica, more adopters are from within families. So at least those persons already know each other.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily mean because I know you, I will be willing and openly want to discuss it still. Because it depends also on the age at which the child was adopted.
True.
Because younger ones, not much information is passed on. But the older ones would have already known.
Gone through the process.
Right.
Understood. All right. So there's two terms that I have here: open adoption, closed adoption. Help us understand the distinction.
Okay, open adoption is where the biological parents can interface with the child, although the child is living and the adoptive parents has responsibility for the child. So there's some boundaries, however, that normally is set, but there's that interaction that continues. They can spend time with them. While closed adoptions, the adopters don't know who the birth parents are. The child don't know who the birth parents are necessarily, and the birth parents don't know who have adopted their children. But in Jamaica, the practice is for closed adoption because once a child is adopted, their original records are sealed. So information pertaining to that is not readily available unless it is, you have to go to court to get that information.
Totally understood. And right here at the tail end of our program, you had mentioned it earlier, but I want us to just reiterate a little bit. If I'm interested in adoption, if I've done the due diligence on my side, I start by going to your website.
Right.
And the documents are there.
You download them, fill them out, and make sure there's a checklist that we have. Ensure that you have check off all the things that you need to get. Then you take the package or mail it to our 48 Duke Street office. And when we get them, we will review them and respond to you within 2 weeks.
Totally understood. All right, Lady Bagelo, right here. There are persons who have adopted, persons who have been adopted, persons who are thinking of adopting, who are watching this program right now. In the last few seconds of this program, I'd like you to address them with whatever is on your mind or on your heart.
Well, adoption is a very important aspect of life. It's a life-changing decision, and I would encourage persons not to shy away from it, but try to find out more about the adoption process before how it works, and you need to maybe talk to persons who have adopted. And that is why this program, we hope, will bring about that awareness to persons that we need to move away from the stigma that is attached to adoption. It's just another way of providing a loving family for a child as well as for a family without children, or even a family with children. But it's just an addition. So I encourage persons to let us talk. Let us keep the conversation going about adoption.
Thank you so much. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Maxine Bagelo, Adoption Coordinator at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Theodore Henry. Take good care.
We are not entitled to not even tomorrow, but we got to make the most of today. And we do so by understanding that as Jamaicans, our spirit must be a spirit of unity, a spirit of purpose, and a spirit of gratitude, where we appreciate what is taking place, and we also appreciate that it never took place before. So even though we are stressed, we are blessed.
With the Christmas period mere weeks away, we want to look back at Christmas in July, and you should too. You're sure to find a wide array of gifts made by Jamaicans in Jamaica to make this holiday that much more special.
It's not quite the Yuletide season, but the excitement and the extravagance that usually comes with that period sure is present at the National Arena today. It's Christmas in July, the trade show brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and its affiliates.
Christmas in July represents an arena for the showcasing of your products, but it also is a marketplace, because what it does is to bring buyers and sellers together. And over 400 of you have been participating, and some $25 million of business was done last year, and we're expecting that you will do better this year.
The two-day held trade show had a new venue this year at the National Arena. It featured a variety of products ranging from souvenirs, fashion and accessories, to fine arts or decor, processed foods, and of course, aromatherapy. And due to its new venue, the event became its largest showing ever, accommodating 205 of the 400 entrepreneurs that applied. Of that number, 106 of them were newcomers, stirring the pot for renewal within the trade show and new opportunities.
That is very important, especially that they are young people. And that is creating the refreshing and the renewal. So if the industry is dynamic, then it morphs. And as we morph, the new minds with the new abilities, the new skills, the new technologies are coming into play. And that augurs well for the future of the whole small and medium development strategy that we are pursuing.
My dream of being here has been a reality, because I've tried the first time and I just didn't go through with it. But this time I'm here and I'm ready. What I hope to get from this experience is a chance to push my fruit cakes. I know they're delicious, I know they're moist, and I want to get into the international market. That has always been my aim. And so I'm hoping that this event will propel me to the next stage.
Richard Smith was about 15 years old when the first Christmas in July trade show was held. Now an entrepreneur and a booth holder, he recalls his feeling patronizing the show back then.
I passed through one number of years looking at the space, and when I was younger, actually, probably looking at the future, so, all right, one day I must come here, sort of thing. So, and I'm here now.
Talk about speaking things into being. After checking out the young artist's work, we decided to see for ourselves what he was about. Not bad for a portrait done in approximately 20 minutes. The activity drew onlookers as well as interested parties, an important part of networking. something first-timer Fiona Hall knows about.
One of the things that I really would like to highlight for my small business owners is to let them know that networking, which is what we're doing here today, is way more valuable than a sale. Networking will see you making an order for 100 pieces versus someone walking by and taking up a piece here, a piece there. So it's the difference of making 100,000 versus 500,000.
And that is just a taste of what one can expect from being a part of the Christmas in July trade show. Ronita Crooks has been at the event several times and knows what newcomers can expect from the exposure.
Newcomers can expect a lot of persons reaching out to them and to expand their business. Sometimes they will offer assistance as in grants. Sometimes they will give you more advice on how you can expand your business more.
There's a large number of manufacturers this year. But what makes it special for us is the impact that we know the unit is able to make on the lives of small manufacturers in Jamaica. A team is always good when you are able to produce and show something of this magnitude that benefits not only small manufacturers but Jamaica.
And the entrepreneurs were indeed grateful for the hard work of the Tourism Linkages Network. Gratitude they didn't mind sharing.
I would like to say to the government, thank you. They have been doing a great job for us in terms of they have a core program now where over time for persons who come to Christmas in July, they buy our items, they will pay attention to them, sample them, and they came up with a cohort where they want us to go into the hotel industry and in terms of using Jamaican-made products in the industries.
I love government events, which makes sense. If you want to expose yourself a certain type of way, you have to tap into the expos or the events that they cater to small businesses like us.
Repeat business is also a feature of the trade show.
And that's how we have a number of repeat manufacturers. This year, in fact, we had 99 because despite you coming the first time and you have gone through our growth processes and we have taken you through our different programs, persons have acknowledged the benefits and remain a part of the program. So the feedback is always great in terms of earnings and exposure.
I've been attending the Christmas in July for 5 years and we are literally 5 years old. Being a part of Christmas in July offers the opportunity for us suppliers to meet buyers. And I can proudly say that Paris Ruby have been a beneficiary of that, in which we are now looking to be in the hotels pretty soon.
This is our 4th time participating in Christmas in July, and every time we participate, it's been a success for us. We do find that our brand increases whenever we participate in Christmas in July. A number of people will contact us through our social media platforms to say that they saw us, they met us at Christmas in July, or they heard about us, or they saw our products in the Christmas catalog that comes out after the staging of Christmas in July.
The new venue offers a wider space, something that the manufacturers are loving.
This year is a lot better, a lot more space. We're able to engage with our customers more freely and more comfortably.
Each year there are new ideas. Persons get more creative as the year goes by, and we want to always see new manufacturers coming up with new ideas. The appetite for buyers is always large and they're always ready to see new stuff. So we encourage persons who are creating to always come on board with us, because we have a platform, we have space for you in tourism where we can always showcase your items.
We have seen a constant improvement every year. The number of participants have expanded every year. The level of business that is done has also increased over there. We're expecting to significantly improve on that. But while we are doing that, we're also expanding the growth of tourism, which means the demand for more of these goods and services too from our small and medium enterprises is expanding, and we have to respond to it.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's show. To catch a repeat of this or any other, feel free to log on to our website, gis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.